Joining us live this morning to talk about it is Matt Harris. He is a host of a podcast called The Murdoch Family Murders: Impact of Influence, and he's also been a morning radio host in Charlotte in that area for more than 20 years. Matt, thank you for being with us this morning. When I talk about layers to this case, we can't even begin to scratch the surface of how much is involved here. Let's start with the trial. He's charged with murdering his wife Maggie and Paul, so 2 murder charges. The trial will take place in Walterboro, which is in Colleton County, not where the murders happened. Set the stage for this trial and why there's so much focus on it.
Well, first, thanks for having me, Marni. Yes, it's the idea that this guy who 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you had asked anybody about Alec Murdoch in that area, they mostly would be saying, you know, he does all these great things in the community. He was one of the leaders of one of the major South Carolina bar associations. He was thought of as a guy who would win you a case, as everybody did that in that family that brought a case to that county. And then all of a sudden it turns into this whole thing of him being accused of murdering his wife and son and stealing $9, $10, $12 million over 15 years from people who were hard up, people that trusted him with their money and their cases. And then we have this weird Labor Day weekend situation where it's a murder-suicide plot with his cousin Eddie, who shoots him. At first he said that he was a drive-by, and then he's like, no, I paid this guy to kill him. So it has gone haywire over the last 2 years. It is huge because this family, the Murdoch family, for about 100 years have pretty much run the political system in a 5-county area of the Low Country in South Carolina. They have been the solicitors, which many would know as the prosecutors, for almost 100 years running the show. And so this fall from grace is massive.
Right. I mean, people in the area call it Murdoch County, right? It's Hampton County, but they call it Murdoch County for that reason. They just need one juror, though, to not be convinced that he did this, as he's accused of doing, killing his wife and son. So my question to you, being in that area, following this case so closely, he maintains his innocence. Does he have any supporters in that community? Does he have people behind him who say, somebody else is responsible, you've got the wrong guy?
Well, I'm sure there are a few, but right now the people in Colleton County and that area of the Low Country have had about enough of Alec Murdoch. They have seen the type of people that he has ripped off. They have seen him admit to some of these things, which is millions and millions of dollars taken from people like a state trooper, from his housekeeper. She was more than a housekeeper. She basically raised the kids. She was with him for 20 some years. She falls down the steps outside his house. She dies. The settlement comes in. It's supposed to go to her kids, her adult children. Instead, he takes that. So they are up to here with Alec Murdoch and the family. And as this thing has gone on, you hear more and more people saying, hey, the Murdochs thought they could get away with everything. They thought they could just do whatever they needed to get by. And they made us all look like a bunch of rubes. And we don't appreciate that because we're proud of the area that we are from, that we live in.
So just to try to clarify a lot of what you are laying out in great detail, and I know much of this as well, but for people at home to follow this, Matt, it's pretty hard. So a moment ago, we had a picture of a woman, Gloria Satterfield. She was the nanny, essentially, the housekeeper for the family, for the Murdoch family at that hunting property, Moselle, as it's called. But the thing here that people need to understand is he is charged with murdering his wife and son, but there are essentially 5 deaths that happened over the course of 6 years that somehow are all intertwined, at least allegedly intertwined. So there's Gloria now. They're saying she died of an accidental death, fell on the stairs at the family's home. She died weeks later in the hospital. He is accused of embezzling money, taking money that was supposed to go to her 2 sons, right? The insurance money from getting hurt on that property. Then you've got the boating accident. His son, Paul, who was murdered, was allegedly behind the wheel of the boat where one of his friends died. Then you have another guy, Stephen Smith, a teenager in Hampton County, who was found in the middle of the road, dead. Police at the time said hit and run. Now that case has been reopened. After Paul and Maggie's bodies were found, Why was that case reopened? We don't know. So there's so much to this. The bigger question, though, Matt, I think, is what is admissible? Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.